And so my next job here is to introduce Margaret. And Margaret Phillips, I met her at Awaken. It was one of those little back room things where you go in and you listen to a talk. Well, somehow I found myself at Margaret, and I thought she was so good. And I think I said something to you, Mike, about it, and I mentioned it to Ken, and here she is today presenting for us. And Margaret shared with me earlier when I talked to her on the phone that she received messages from the other side when she was a young child. And then she has now grown into somebody when she's a coach. She's a hypnotherapist, and she does angel readings. She's a Jersey native, but she's now living in Manayunk, and I think you do some of your work in Manayunk, correct? All right. So we welcome, via the Awaken Festival and Greg's offerings, we welcome Margaret Phillips to present with us today. So I guess you have to watch this thing. You're going to watch the candle? Okay. Margaret was a little nervous about the candle, and it's kind of a, I think we're
Send extra prayer, we're all good. Cindy, before I get started, I wanted to say, keep smiling in your bed at night. Keep smiling. The angels love it. Anytime we smile, guys, that opens us up and makes us able to receive the messages. So you might feel crazy laying in your bed, smiling at 9, 10, 11, 2 o'clock in the morning. Don't care. Enjoy the joy of that moment. Enjoy that. So I just wanted to say that. So like Susanna said, I've been communicating with the other side since I was a child. I started talking with my grandmother from a very young age, about, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 years old. My mother tells me that I've got to get rid of my imaginary friend. I'm too old for that stuff. And like, I wasn't really raised in a spiritual family. We didn't talk a whole lot. There's rumors that my dad used to be a Sunday school teacher. My part of my lifetime, my experience with my father, nothing Sunday schooly about that, but that's okay. But so I started talking with my grandmother. You know, my mom tells me get rid of my imaginary friend. I freak her out because it's a grandmother I hadn't met, never seen pictures, because my mom had, you know, we all have our own processes, and her process was, I don't want to have pictures of somebody my children can't connect with, can't know around, and make them miss somebody they don't have. So from that perspective, yeah, I kind of sort of get it. Doesn't really matter though, because grandma was talking to me, and when I described my mother to my mother, you know, my grandmother, her face turned white. I thought she was going to pass out or something, because she had no idea what that was. You know, and how can I describe somebody I had never met, somebody I'd never even seen a picture of, much less describe them to a T. So I've been communicating, you know, with the deceased for a long time. When I was also about 7 or 8, I was raised in a very abusive family. My family origin was very abusive. I was in and out of the system in foster care until I was about 16 years old. Every home I was ever placed in was abusive, either emotionally, physically, or sexually, or some combination thereof. I share that part of my story with you because while it can be momentarily difficult to talk about, I'm here, and I know I am here to help you guys and to tell you that no matter what darkness you're going through, you are here for a reason. The angels are with you. They are protecting you. Some of you, you know, are angels. Yes, we feel them, we see them, we hear them. Sometimes we have to be in the right zone to hear them. We have to be, just like anything else, we have to be receptive. Those of you who've seen me around, see me do a lot of things, you'll see I walk around a lot with my hands open. I try to be receptive as much as possible. And this just kind of is my reminder. What do you have? What am I willing to receive? Because there's tons of stuff out there. So, you know, and you might, like, don't kick yourself. If you can't feel your angels, you can't hear your angels, try not to kick yourself. Try to just let it go. Anything intuitive, the harder you think about it, the harder you try to do it, the less it works. So, you know, we all have angels. We all have at least 2. We have our guardian angels. They are with us from the moment we are created until the moment we die. Now, a lot of people say, oh, my grandma was my guardian angel. She died when I was 7. Sorry, grandma might have ascended into angelhood, but she is not your guardian angel. Your guardian angel cannot physically exist at the same time you physically exist. Now, that doesn't mean, again, our ancestors, they watch over us. ancestors we haven't met, ancestors that are like 1,000 years down in our history. They watch over us. They are here. Our ancestors, our angels, they all work together. We all have a great spiritual team. We just have to tap into it. And then once we tap into it, we've got to allow it. That's one of the biggest issues I know I've had over my lifetime. That's one of the biggest issues a lot of people I coach have. We forget we have to allow it. Because we can ask for things till the cows come home. But that never happens to me. You just shut the door. The universe is right here, ready to deliver it. And you just shut the door and say that never happened. You tell the universe it's never going to happen. It can't happen. The universe will not get in your free will. Your angels will not interfere with your free will. Yes, if your mother prays for you to have extra help, have extra angels, yes, they will come. But if you are stuck in a mode, and I feel that I really need to share this because a lot of people are afraid of the new year. A lot of people are afraid of what's coming. Don't be afraid, guys. There's only so much we can control. And all that other crazy stuff going around, how much of that affects our day-to-day life? How much of that is honestly going to, in the moment, affect us? So let's not live in that fear. Let's just live here. That's what our angels want us to do. Our angels want us to live here in this moment. Our angels want us to live here and connect with them. And, you know, I'm honored, and this is a little different than how I expected, but when I speak from spirit. This is how spirit's leading me today. I do want to thank everybody who's here in person. I want to thank everybody who's here on Zoom. I want to thank all our divine beings. I want to thank all the angels who are here today. I want to thank the angels who watch over us all. The angels who are watching over each and every one of us. The angels we see, the angels we feel, the angels we don't see and feel. Because I got to tell you guys, if you're thinking I never feel them, that's okay, because you don't have to feel them for them to be there. And if you're not sure if they're there, know and try to believe that I know, because I've seen them. I've lived through a lot of darkness. I've seen a lot of stuff. Like I said, I was very abused as a child. When I was 15 years old, it was very dark time. I had somebody introduce me. I knew about drinking through my father. I knew it wasn't good, but you know how you are when you're a teenager, you're rebellious and whatever. And I started drinking. It wasn't pretty. And I was already depressed, had been depressed for years because of what I grew up in. Started drinking, got even more depressed because alcohol's a depressant. So of course it's going to make you worse. And it got some dark stuff. And it got to the point where I said, this is ridiculous. I refused to. The only happiness I knew was like these happy families, like Cosby Show, Walton's, all these old TV shows where the families were happy. I wasn't raised in a family that was happy. You know, we were happy if dad wasn't beating the crap out of us. We were happy if dad wasn't screaming. If dad was passed out on the couch from his drinking, we were happy because I mean, we were safe, he was unconscious. So if you're going through some darkness right now, if you are scared for what's coming, try to hold on to the hope. And I share my belief with you and hope that you can attach it to yourself if you need it. Your angels are there. They are with you. They are watching over us. They will guide us. They will protect us. It is not going to be as horrible as a lot of people are afraid of right now. It is not going to be any more ugly than we allow it to be in our lives. Yes, we have to live in the real world. Yes, we have to be aware of something going on. But let's not stay there for 4 hours. Let's maybe think about it for like 20 minutes and then move on to something happy. Let's move on to some good stuff. Like I said, when I was 15, I was really depressed, really sad. I had 2 different incidences that year that I tried to take my own life. And I know angels are around, and I know that they saved me. Because I came from a family where we were poor and medical things weren't taken care of. So the first time I tried to kill myself, I didn't know any better. I took a whole bunch of Tylenol. I took a bottle and a half of Tylenol. It was over 100 pills. And I was just waiting, and I'm like, it's gotta be any time now. It's gonna happen, and then this horribleness is gonna be over. And it never happened. I started throwing up. And I was throwing up for hours and hours and hours and couldn't stop. I go to my mother and I tell her what I did, and I get, why would you do something like that, Margaret? We know we love you. It's the first time in 15 years my mother had ever said the words, I love you, or anything like it. I didn't know I was loved. I didn't know, even though, when I was 8, I was given a picture of a guardian angel that I prayed to every day. And that's what started my communication with the angels, my connection. I knew she was there. I knew I could talk to her. I talked to her every day. I asked her when my dad was bad to help the abuse not be as bad. And it worked. There were some nights when it wasn't as bad. I prayed to her, and I know she buffered his hand. No doubt in my mind. When we went to school, we were nicknamed Candy Stripes because we would go with belt lines all on our bodies. So I know the angels buffered a lot. I know the angels saved my life because I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be quiet. I know no matter what darkness you might be going through, no matter what challenges you think you cannot get through, whether these are physical, emotional, spiritual, combination thereof, your angels will help you if you let them. And it's really easy. Just say, angels help me. You don't need to know their names. You don't need to remember anything. Just angels help me. Ask for help and allow yourself to receive it. I'm just checking time. So again, our angels come. We all have 2 guardian angels. We have an assertive one and a passive one. Our assertive ones are usually the ones who, when you're driving, you almost feel like you hear somebody scream, whispering at you to slow down. Those are usually your assertive guardian angels talking to you. Your passive ones are the ones that might show things up on your phone, or, kind of quietly whisper to you, hey, don't go Sarah. So sometimes they do very subtle things. Our angels send us numbers. Angel numbers are like mini horoscopes and mini card readings combined. You see that 333 and you can't get it out of your head? It's because your angels are like, hey, we're here. And number 3 represents the ascended masters. So not only are your angels working with you, when you see those 3s popping up, guys, the ascended masters, Jesus, Kuan Yin, Buddha, they are there. They are working with you. They're showing you they're here. So they're here. They're all around us. We just have to ask. They cannot interfere with free will. So we have to, and most of us here, I believe, most of us who are watching today and who are here, I think we're a little more elevated than the general public. So a lot of us kind of try to watch our words anyway. But sometimes we have to take that extra conscious effort. It's been really hard for me. Therapy tells you, oh, don't use the word never, it's black and white thinking, But it took a while to remove that word from my vocabulary, and that's why I still catch myself using it. Because when we say something never happened, we are literally slamming that door to the blessing. It's not. We are preventing ourselves from the joy and the happiness that we're not only searching for, but that we deserve. And in case you didn't hear that, I'm being told to repeat it. You deserve joy and happiness. If you are listening to this, the divine, the angels, your higher power wants you to have the joy and happiness you deserve. And it's easy because energy perpetuates energy, right? So we're happy and I'm excited and I'm honored and grateful to be here today. And I love when I'm standing in spirit helping people. I love when I'm talking to people. When we start talking spiritual stuff, I probably drive Chris a little crazy because he's still learning this stuff, not quite his thing, but he's very supportive and I'm very grateful for it. But, when I'm in that moment, the rest of the world doesn't matter. It's that spiritual moment. And that's where our angels want us to be. The divine's aware. The divine created us. Yes, we have this nasty stuff we have to go through. We have to work. We have to do the normal stuff. But as often as we can, let's stand in that moment of happiness. Let's stand in that moment with our angels. And I'm extremely grateful because later today, after the meditation, it was kind of thrown on me last minute. And I was like, well, maybe. But I'm extremely grateful because I'm going to get to share with you all today a meditation that the angels channeled to me. I'm excited for it when we get to it. Couple minutes before then, I just want to, I'm still opening up for questions for a few minutes before I start channeling you guys. So do you have any questions?